Or imagine walking down a dimly lit alleyway where shadows dance like phantom specters, when a sudden burst of aggressive energy shatters the silence. Out of nowhere, two figures emerge from the darkness, their fists flying in a whirlwind of adrenaline and fury. There's no referee here, no bells, and no safety gear, just raw, primal power unleashed in a brutal ballet of survival. This isn't a choreographed fight scene from a movie, it's an unexpected encounter in the gritty underbelly of the city. Every punch carries the risk of injury, or worse. Every block, every dodge, every counterstrike is a desperate bid for dominance or survival. There are no rules here, no weight classes, no timeouts. And this is a world where strength, skill, and sheer willpower determine the victor. This is the world of street fighting, raw, unfiltered, and brutal. But where did it all begin? The birth of bare-knuckle fighting dates back centuries. It was the mid-17th century in England when bare-knuckle fighting first made its raw and visceral mark on the world. This was a time of great change, a time of burgeoning industry and rising tensions. The concept of settling disputes with fists, free of the trappings of gloves or rules, resonated with the working class. They found in it a brutal yet honest form of expression, a means of asserting their strength and resolve amidst the turmoil of their lives. Bare-knuckle fighting wasn't just a spectacle of power and endurance, it was a mirror reflecting the struggles and aspirations of the working class. And so, it became popular. In the gritty underbelly of society, where life was a daily battle, bare-knuckle fighting found its most ardent supporters. It was their sport, their arena, their voice. As the years trudged on, bare-knuckle fighting evolved. It moved from the back streets and alleys to makeshift rings. The fights became more organized, the stakes higher. But the spirit remained unaltered, the spirit of bare-knuckle, raw, unfiltered, and undeniably human. But the journey of bare-knuckle fighting was not without its trials. It was a path beset with societal disapproval, legal challenges, and moral questions. Yet the fighters, these daring warriors of the 1%, stood their ground. They fought, not just their opponents, but the world that sought to shun them. In the shadowy corners of society, they honed their fists and their will, carving a legacy of resilience and defiance. They were the embodiment of the bare-knuckle spirit, a testament to the unbroken human spirit that fights, endures, and rises no matter the odds. Thus began the era of bare-knuckle fighting, a raw display of strength and resilience. The fighters, those audacious souls who dared to bare their knuckles and their hearts, they were the ones who breathed life into this brutal sport. They were the raw beating heart of bare-knuckle. And their story, the story of the 1%, is the story of bare-knuckle itself. As with all things, bare-knuckle fighting evolved, adapting to the changing times and society's thirst for thrill and danger. In its early days, bare-knuckle fighting was a public spectacle. It was a raw, unfiltered form of entertainment where the strongest and bravest men would go toe-to-toe in front of a roaring crowd. But as society began to frown upon such brutal displays, the sport was driven underground, away from prying eyes and the scrutiny of the law. The arenas transformed from public squares into hidden basements, dimly lit alleys, and secluded warehouses. The audience, once a diverse mix of society, now comprised of a select few, those who lived for the thrill of the fight and the adrenaline it promised. And so the underground world of bare-knuckle fighting was born. But the evolution didn't stop there. As the fights grew in popularity, the stakes got higher. The introduction of betting added a new layer of excitement to the sport. It was no longer just about the thrill of the fight, it was also about the thrill of the gamble. The rush of risking it all on a single punch. This evolution didn't just change the face of bare-knuckle fighting, it also influenced the world of professional boxing. The raw brutality of bare-knuckle fights caught the attention of boxing promoters. They saw the potential for a new, more exciting form of boxing, one that combined the skill and strategy of traditional boxing with the raw power and unpredictability of bare-knuckle fights. The result was a new breed of fighters, athletes who could deliver a knockout punch with precision and power. These fighters brought a new level of excitement to the world of boxing, forever changing the sport and its audience. The brutal sport became a clandestine spectacle watched and wagered on by those who craved adrenaline and danger. And so, from the public squares to the dimly lit corners of the underground, bare-knuckle fighting evolved, becoming a thrilling, high-stakes spectacle that continues to captivate audiences to this day. Let's delve into the lives of these daring warriors, the fighters who make up the 1%. These are the men and women who step into the ring, the bare-knuckle fighters, the street warriors. They come from all walks of life, each carrying a story etched in the grit and grime of the streets and the sweat and blood of the ring. Take for instance, Jake the Snake Sullivan, a former construction worker from Chicago. Jake found solace in the raw, unfiltered world of bare-knuckle fighting after losing his job during the economic downturn. His motivation? Pure survival, the need to put food on the table for his family. Or consider Maria the Mauler Vasquez, a single mother and Army veteran. Maria stepped into the ring to escape the echoes of war and found a new battlefield, one where she's not just surviving but thriving. Then there's Iron Mike Lawson, a former professional boxer who fell from grace due to addiction. For Mike, bare-knuckle fighting isn't just a sport, it's a lifeline, a chance to claw his way back from the brink. What unites these fighters is more than just the thrill of the fight. It's a shared understanding of the physical and mental toll this sport exacts. It's about pushing past the pain, the exhaustion, the fear. It's about stepping into that ring, knowing the odds are stacked against you and fighting anyway. The physical toll is tangible. Broken bones, bloodied faces, bruised bodies. But the mental toll? That's a different beast altogether. The constant pressure to perform, to win, to survive. The fear of injury, the weight of expectation, the loneliness of the long road back from defeat. But these fighters, they wouldn't have it any other way. They thrive under pressure, feed off the adrenaline, turn pain into power. They are the embodiment of resilience, of determination, of sheer unadulterated grit. These fighters risking life and limb are the heart of this brutal sport. Behind the adrenaline and the brutal spectacle lies an untold truth about bare-knuckle fighting. It's a world that's gritty and raw, far removed from the glitz and glamour of mainstream combat sports. Bare-knuckle is not for the faint-hearted. The injuries are real, the scars permanent. Fighters often carry the marks of their battles long after the fight is over. Broken noses, split lips, fractured hands. These are the badges of honor, the price paid for stepping into the ring. There's no padding here, no gloves to soften the blows. It's bone against bone, strength against strength, will against will. But the physical toll is just one part of the story. There's a darker side that many don't see, the exploitation. Fighters are often lured into the sport by promises of fame and fortune, only to be used and discarded when they're no longer able to compete. The lack of regulations means there's little to no protection for the fighters. No pensions, no medical insurance, no safety nets. They're left to fend for themselves, dealing with injuries and financial struggles long after their time in the ring is over. And then, there's the struggle for legitimacy. Despite its growing popularity, bare-knuckle is still seen by many as a brutal underground sport. It's shunned by mainstream media and often operates in the shadows, far from the public eye. Fighters face stigma and discrimination, their achievements often overlooked or dismissed. But here's the thing, these fighters, they're not just brawlers, they're warriors, survivors. They step into the ring knowing the risks, knowing the cost. They fight not just for the thrill but for the chance to prove themselves, to test their limits, to push against the boundaries of what's possible. Bare-knuckle fighting, a brutal spectacle that thrives in the shadows, is more than just a fight, it's a testament to human resilience and survival. The untold truth of bare-knuckle is a story of grit, determination, and the indomitable human spirit. It's a story that deserves to be told. So, what does the future hold for bare-knuckle fighting? As we stand on the precipice of a new era, bare-knuckle fighting finds itself at a crossroads. With the scars of its tumultuous past still healing, the sport is steadily gaining recognition, a testament to the resilience of its fighters and fans alike. In many regions, efforts for legalization are in full swing, championed by those who see the raw, unfiltered combat as a testament to human strength and endurance. The road to legitimacy is riddled with obstacles, but the spirit of the sport is unwavering. Looking forward, the potential for bare-knuckle fighting is boundless. As it carves out its place in the world of combat sports, it brings with it a sense of authenticity that is rare in an age of spectacle. The world of bare-knuckle fighting continues to evolve, shaping and being shaped by those daring enough to step into the ring.